Hello, this is Melissa Holden, and this is the only place in my house where there's lighting. And the camera it has this auto adjusting. It tries to be smart and decide how much light there is or isn't, and anyway, it messes up. What I was wanting to do was to give a little rant about something that's been on my mind. It's really bothering my conscience, so I had to let it out somewhere, and since I don't have any people. Okay, with my ongoing thing of whether I'm introverted or extroverted, I think the fact that I say things on YouTube means I'm extroverted. Because if I was an introvert, I'd be by myself all the time and not care. But instead, I like to be by myself, and yet I'd like to tell people everything that I think. Why, no one would care anyway. Because I grew up with my parents, I think that they're introverted, but they always tell each other things and they're kind of an entity of themselves. They don't need anything outside of each other. Well, I have to tell people things. Anyway, the first thing I wanted to show is some of the things that my children are so incredible. I'm been trying to rack my brain on some things I've been working on. I've been trying to learn to knit, and I've been working on my phone making noise at me. Anyway, I'm working on a fisherman's rib that's two-toned, and it's really cool, but I need to take a break from it. And these are some things that my daughter suggested, and so I made for her. They're for her. She's the really creative one. I just am the doer. Okay, this right here. Is this not so cute? Can't show you how cute it is. It's a little polar bear. Anyway, and she wanted different dye lots. I don't know. You probably can't tell on the camera anyway, but the white that I used to stitch on was a different color white than the white that is. So you can see my stitches, and it's gross. The funniest thing I did, I was making a Christmas afghan for my in-laws, and I used two different off-whites. And they look fine in the light that I was using in our house, but then when I got into the light, like this light outside, the really bright light from the snow, you could see it's two different colors, and I was showing my daughter. She says, "Oh, it looks great." I says, "Yeah, you think so. Look at it." And then in the real light. And so I pulled it into the other light. She goes, "It just looks like somebody peed on it." I'm like, yeah, but they didn't. It's just two different colors of the same color. Okay, and this isn't done yet, but this was her idea, because she's going to a friend's party, and she said the girl likes pineapples and candy. So my daughter had this great idea. She always has really great. Oh, I didn't explain the polar bear. She wanted to get a teacher appreciation gift, but she didn't want it to be like your standard teacher appreciation thing like everybody else does. So she says, "I've noticed that my teacher, in all of her family pictures, there's a sticker of a polar bear." And I asked her about it, and it's for a child that isn't present or something. And so she says, "Can I please make her a polar bear?" I was like, "Sure." Anyway, she's going to a friend's house, and we're not done with this yet. This is the pineapple, and that it's full of candy. But it's not done yet because she wanted to design its mouth. So I'm going to give her some black yarn. Because I had googly eyes, and I said, we can put some googly eyes on there with hot glue or something. And she's like, no. She wants to use yarn, so I could do it. But she does this style that's called kawaii, I think, where the eyes are really close to the mouth. And it looks really cute and stuff, so she hates it when I use the word cute. Sorry. There's some other things that I have, but maybe I'll show you these. This is what I made for everybody for Easter. It was such an easy pattern. I just need ideas sometimes, so I get online and I'm like, idea for Easter. Oh, I'll show you what I did with it. See, it's just like a cup. You just make a circle bottom and then back loops only to make it turn up. And then I put some grass and jelly beans in there, and then some ears. And I was thinking I might put the insides, maybe some pink or something. Anyway, the kids are getting too old to have a big stocking with goodies and stuff, so I'm just gonna give them like jelly beans or robin eggs and one of these things. Oh, I do have finished this huge Afghan for my son. I still haven't sent it to him yet, but it took me forever, and I was doing like 1,000,001 other things class of 2023. Can you see that? You couldn't see it. I couldn't see whether you could see it on the camera, but anyway, finished that for him. It was funny because I told him that I made him an Afghan. He says, "Oh, cool. What's an Afghan?" That's my kids for you. They're so awesome. They appreciate everything. Most mothers couldn't crochet or knit or make some kind of yarn craft, and the kids would appreciate it, but my kids understand, they appreciate it, and I'm so thankful for that. Okay, now to my topic. Or not necessarily, I don't really have a topic, so, I mean, I'm on the topic of not saying anything in particular. But the one thing that was on my mind a whole lot, every time I look over here, maybe it makes my face bright, and so the whole camera gets lighter. Maybe it's trying to keep, it's probably smart sensing my face, and trying to, anyway, sidetrack. Okay, what has been bothering me is I've been doing this intermittent fast thing for like a year now, and I never have ever not or failed, but I was just getting so hungry last night, and then this morning when I woke up, I felt sick. And you know, the thing that I had read a lot about and that I was talking to my kids about is the fact that I am underweight for my size. So it's like I used to watch, I'll step back, because I'm getting a little too, my brain is getting too far ahead of what I'm explaining, and then I'll start just saying he or she and using pronouns, and you won't know what I'm talking about. I used to watch a movie called The Incredible Shrinking Woman, about this woman, and she keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until she's so small. Like, if you've ever seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, that kind of thing. It's like so small. Well, I don't want to be too small, so there has to be a point when you stop growing. And I was thinking the other day, why am I still doing this intermittent fast thing? And I'll get to the reason why. Because I've already surpassed, like, the ideal weight for my height in every book I've ever read is like 147, 145, 148, somewhere around in that area. And I'm in the 120s and 130s. And I'm like, well, you know, I'm feeling fine. I didn't think I was ever going to break 150. It was really, really hard. But then when I stopped going places, of course, stopped building muscle, of course, and then I lose a lot of weight, and I dropped down. And I was thinking, without my leg strength, then I guess I would lose a lot of weight. So as soon as I can get outside and start walking more and running and doing exercise and stuff, that's why I got an exercise bike. But anyway, that's all sidetracked, not stuff that matters. The whole point is, there's got to be a point where you just realize, hey, I don't need to lose weight. This is good. And the intermittent fasting, why do I say it that way? Intermittent. Anyway, the reason, it is healthy and it's good for me. And I was trying to explain in a previous video that I'm doing it for health. And I've heard several people talk about it for health and certain things it can do. And when I was reading about it in books, it says that it is good for health. And when I was overweight and I knew I was and I needed to lose weight quickly, I did it and I lost weight. And I'm healthy. And I used to always say, I'm doing this hoping for a lifestyle change. Because I just want it just to be not a fad or a diet or anything I'm doing. Is just, or like I need to check the schedule. Am I allowed to eat now? I just want to be able to, you don't eat after 8 o'clock at night, and then I can eat again at noon. Perfect. I'll just live that way for the rest of my life. And I don't go up and down with my weight. It's just, it doesn't go down. It just stays when I do that. And so I started having to do like this thing where I'd like go without eating for 2 to 3 days at a time. That, it works. It made me drop weight, but it also was making me sick. And then I had the thought, well, I've been reading in that book too that said not to. If you're underweight, you should not use this. It says that over and over again. And I was thinking, yeah, I don't think I should be trying to lose weight. And I'm like, is that just me rationalizing? I think I'm just rationalizing because I went ahead and ate because I was sick this morning. I was not sick. I wasn't like sick. I just felt like dizzy and kind of nauseous. And I was giving a lesson on the bread of life. And so I made a big loaf of bread and I was having to give it to the kids. And I'm like, I really want to eat some. And my daughter's like, Mom, just eat some. It's okay. You shouldn't even do that fasting anyway. And when my kids are saying it too, then I rationalize, oh, well, see, they tell me I shouldn't do it anyway, so I'm just going to stop. I don't know who that truck is. Probably a neighbor. I've never seen it before. Anyway, face is all white again. Reminds me of those Savage Garden videos where they, can't remember what it is, but there's a person in it, and when they record them, their faces are so white, all you see is white, and then their eyes, and that's the way I look when I do this. Okay, so anyway, I just ate. And I wasn't supposed to eat, and then I thought, well, I'm not supposed to eat until like 4 o'clock because I try to keep my fasting around so that I can eat meals with my family. I don't. It's like the other thing that's said in the scriptures is those people, the Sadducees, why, when they fast, they disfigure their faces and they're like, oh, I'm so hungry. I don't want anyone to know that I'm fasting. I want to do it because I want to be healthy. So when I start to not feel healthy, I'm like, well, maybe I should be doing that. That's all I was going to say about that there is a limit. It's like, well, if it suggests that a healthy weight, and if I am a healthy weight and I have a hard time, I have to do weird, bad things to get below it. Who's to say? And if I felt good, then that's fine. And I have clothes that fit. I just want to be skinnier. I just want to be smaller like I was when I was in high school. Well, I'm not. And the body, it's not like people when they're like 8 years old, they're like, I wish I could be as small as I was when I was a baby. 8-year-olds just do not look like babies. I need to just accept that. 50-year-olds do not look like they're 12. Okay, that's my rant. The end.